San Antonio, the home of Army medicine. It is great to see each and every one of you today. I know that you all have very busy schedules and that we had a short timeline here, and so your presence here is especially meaningful to observe this time-honored tradition. So fantastic. First of all, Chaplain Vandross, thank you for blessing us and for your continued prayers for our formation. Really appreciate that. Staff Sergeant, wow, what a phenomenal rendition. Please join me for a round of applause. And of course, Fort Sam's own, the 322nd Band. You always bring an extra touch of class to every one of our ceremonies, virtual, in person. You bring it all day, every day. So really, really appreciate you. And maybe most importantly, to the soldiers and civilians of Medical Readiness Command West and Defense Health Network West, your dedication to duty is why the mission continues throughout every change of leadership. So please join me in giving a round of applause to all of those who have made this happen. So this morning I want to extend a special welcome to YR's spouse, Dr. Renee Harrison, who we had a chance to recognize just a little earlier. Dr. Harrison is an accomplished author and a professor at Howard University. As I mentioned earlier, I had the chance to meet Renee several years ago and have had the joy of getting to know her more along the way. Her calm, clear-eyed approach to caring for people is exactly what we would hope all to aspire to. And I know I tried to recruit you to the Army, Renee, and you said no thanks. But I appreciate you supporting YR as you do. Your incredible support means so much to her. Thank you for extending your hospitality to the families of MRC West and uniting them across 9 states. Now, married for 9 years, YR and Renee first met at Howard University School of Divinity. And although they met there, what I learned this time around was actually they were growing up close much earlier than that because they actually grew up only 5 miles from each other in LA, you found out later on. So it just took life a little bit of time to bring you closer together. But I'm so glad that it did. So the story of the professor and the soldier, I guess we already have one soldier, so you can't both be the soldier. But YR, Renee, thank you for being part of YR's special day. Really, really appreciate you. I also want to take this opportunity to welcome leaders from around San Antonio. You heard our list of DVs, but leaders such as Mayor Greiter of Kirby, Texas, that joined us today. Again, Army medicine's roots run very deep in this town and in this state. And so your consistent support to our operations is integral in how we produce the next generation of medics of every type to ensure that our soldiers have the best care in the world, no matter where they are in the world. So last week, we celebrated the 251st birthday of Army medicine, and it was a great reminder, a great chance to look back on our why. Birthdays can often do that for us. It gives us a chance to reflect on what's been before and where we would like to go, because where we would like to go is a choice. And leaders like General Summons help make that choice clear for an entire organization. The Medical Readiness Command West, you see up there on the screen, compassion, care, and commitment. And I really can think of no better 3 words to describe General Summons' leadership philosophy. This is what she brings to every team she leads. And this is something that Medical Readiness Command West and Defense Health Network West execute every single day. And although the soldiers of these units, some are celebrating with us virtually, their colors remind us just how important each of these organizations is to the collective command's impact on behalf of our Army in defense of our nation. You build trust. You inspire confidence, not only for U.S. soldiers, but partners and allies. Just yesterday morning, I had a chance to meet with fellow surgeon generals from other nations, and they comment on how the proficiency and excellence within our medical formations is both motivating and inspiring. It makes us the partner of choice. You are building trust and interoperability today so that we will be stronger tomorrow. And I want to thank you for representing the very best that our Army has to offer. For the past 2 years, General Summons has led Medical Readiness Command West to build a high proficiency team of teams. And when she and I were talking about this day and reflecting, we came down to one word that really describes the way she has led here, and it is together. She has 2 incredibly talented teams, which she fights as one. She is focused on how they can provide support to the missions. So for those who may not know, General Summons oversaw the 2 medical centers, the 4 hospitals, the 3 health clinics, the 35 dental clinics, and a public health command to boot, which has recently really stepped up and made a huge difference for our entire department. These facilities support over 250,000 beneficiaries. And when you say that number, it sounds impressive, but when you realize each that contribute to that is a single person, a single family member, a single retiree, that's when you see the impact that this command has. They also support the only 2 active mobilization force generation installations that both prepare our soldiers to deploy as well as receive them home after their mission overseas is complete. One at Fort Hood and one at Fort Bliss, Texas. Under YR's leadership, the MTFs of MRC West have renewed trust and confidence in our military health system, a trust that is fought and earned every single day by our incredible teammates. Now, it's not always easy. Sometimes that trust is shaken, but General Summons led the efforts to repair that trust with our communities and our families and our installations and our soldiers and really our nation. So YR, I want to thank you for your caring yet decisive leadership in leading through tough times. You demonstrated why, and I have to say this once in the remarks because it's General Summons. You demonstrated why the best is in the West. The only level 1 trauma center in our entire military health system, Brooke Army Medical Center, remains a shining example of just what that best looks like for military medicine. The vastness of Fort Irwin, California, the sands of Fort Huachuca, Arizona, the rolling hills and dense woods and swamps of Fort Polk, Louisiana. You took care of soldiers and their families stationed in some of our nation's most significant healthcare deserts. Military medicine must be there for them, and you made sure they were. Under your leadership, General Leonard Wood Army Community Hospital opened a brand new campus, welcoming patients for the first time just a few months ago. And that was just one visible investment that we are making in military infrastructure. And notably, this is infrastructure shared with our partners in the Veterans Health Administration, bringing care to retirees and families, making our MTFs vibrant readiness platforms that we need them to be. You have shown what it is to be a great teammate. You work with General Admiral and the 3 Corps at Fort Hood to invest in their readiness and their formations, and to maximize the readiness of those just coming out of training, as well as those who had been trained for a day or 2. You partnered with 3 Corps to execute and even invest some of their dollars in a joint emergency medical exercise, which sets the standards, bringing together soldiers from 22 units, representing 15 medical specialties with international partners to train on large-scale, multi-service combat casualty care. You have shown our medical professionals what it means to take their technical proficiency that they've gained in training and inside the walls out to the field where the soldiers need it. They are better soldiers and better medical professionals because of your leadership. And they are better prepared to face whatever our Army will call upon them to do. YR, job well done. Thank you for your inspirational leadership as the CG of MRC West and the director of DHN West. Please join me in a round of applause of thanks to Brigadier General and Dr. Harrison. So some of you may have noticed that this is a relinquishment of command. So I want to address the elephant in the room. So General Summons has been called up to D.C., up north, where her talents are needed there. And we have leadership that will be covering down here. And I know you all will be part of that continuity. There's some policies and plans we're working through. Sergeant Major and I do that every day up in the Pentagon. And so you have our commitment that you will have unbroken leadership here, and we'll make sure that it gets covered down. And we will work very hard to come down for an assumption command as soon as we are able to. So to the soldiers and civilians, the expectation is clear. Continue to be excellent, just as you have under General Summons' leadership. Our war fighters deserve nothing less. Build combat credible forces, sustain health, modernize through continuous transformation, strengthen our partnerships, strengthen our profession, and leverage our partnerships. I personally thank each and every one of you, civilians and soldiers and family members, for your service and for the care you take of one another every day, so that we can be confident that our war fighters have the best medical care in the world, at home, abroad, any place, anytime. I am honored to serve with each and every one of you every day. Combat ready care, this will defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing Commanding General of Medical Readiness Command West, Brigadier General Y.R. Summons.
I'm just going to say, wow. So I had a lot of touch points before now to make sure that I don't choke up. But if I do, I'm going to blame it on General McQueen. Because as he's fixing all these buildings, he probably forgot one. No, I'm just kidding, sir. I'm just messing with you. I just really want to just say good morning. I'm actually overwhelmed, to be quite honest. So I'll just get started. To our distinguished visitors, I'll say our VIPs, the extraordinary soldiers, civilians, and contractor teammates in person and online across our 20 states, and to our families who anchor everything that we do. I just want to say welcome. Welcome. To our host leadership, General Izagiri, Command Sergeant Major Dobbins. I'm just going to say thank you for your steadfast leadership of MedCom. Not only that, the dual-headedness that you have as OTSG, much like us, is interweaving, and sometimes you can't tease it out. But nonetheless, thank you for your trust that you placed in Team West. Thank you for your trust that you placed in me. Serving alongside you both have been a true honor, and I do mean that. To our key enterprise leaderships, at DHA, from General Crossland to Vice Admiral Bai, and I know we have a guest of honor here, Chief Master Sergeant Johnson. It's so good to see you. Thank you for your leadership in shaping the future of military medicine. To our JBSA partners at our North, Lieutenant General Pepin, He and I have bonded. I don't understand it, but phenomenal leader, phenomenal mentor, and someone I definitely call a friend. Not out of disrespect. He called me that first, just so you know, but we're friends. At INCOM, Lieutenant General Smith, whom I've known a long time, from MedCOE, from General Murray to General McQueen, I just really want to say thank you. And the reason I say thank you is because of this. Together, you proved every day that military medicine and operational readiness are not separate efforts. They are one single, unbroken promise to who? Yes, you guessed it, the American warfighter. The American warfighter. To Chaplain Van Dress, Sergeant First Class in Shakur, in Sharaka. All right, cool. You want to say it again? Got it. Thank you for his breathtaking anthem. He was like, get my name right. To the 323rd band behind. I mean, you guys always make it classy, and I really appreciate it. And again, it was great just talking with you guys before the ceremony. And the behind-the-scenes team that put this ceremony together on such short notice, you made the hard work of military tradition basically look really easy. You made it just look so easy. So if we would, again, let's just give them a round of applause. All right, so look, I got something to tell you. Relinquishment of command ceremonies and, ceremonies in general, right? They're full of high protocol and lofty speeches and, you know how it goes. And usually when, you see people like generals step to the microphone and what you don't see is these 50 pages that's in my electronic book right here. You're like, oh, I'm about to brace myself for a long speech. But don't worry. I know what time it is. And I know it gets hot in San Antonio. That's why we had it in here for a second. I thought it was going to be warm in here too, but it's not. But I'll still be brief. Because here in San Antonio, the weather can get quite disrespectful, and in some of those buildings, it can get disrespectful too. It gets hot. But because if you've worn this uniform long enough, you know the truth. Today has little to do about the person standing behind the microphone. It has little to do with me. It has everything to do with you. And I do mean that, everything. It's about the staff officers who stay late because details matters. It's about the civilians who quietly solve crises before anyone notices that they exist. The medics, the civilians, the clinicians, the contractors across the 20-state or our 20-state footprint, whether here in San Antonio, Fort Cavazos, Fort Bliss, or beyond. I'll just say this. You are the ones that do the hard work, the hard, unglamorous work of keeping the force ready, far from the spotlight. 2 years ago, 730 days to be exact, we brought two distinct organizations together. It was 1 year old at the time, MRC West, and also DHN West. New structures, real financial constraints, a lot of open questions, and frankly, a lot of skepticism. But you didn't look for excuses. You built the West. You established a standard of excellence that reverberates across the entire military health system. And let's be clear, you didn't do it through software or organizational charts or even AI. You did it through grit, character, and you did it through people. You did it through people. Budgets rise and fall. Facilities will age. But the heartbeat of this command, the brain power, the sweat, the quiet resilience of our soldiers, civilians, and contractors, that's something that no directive can produce. Absolutely no directive can produce. You are the lifeblood of the West. You are the lifeblood. To our civilian contractors who provide the bedrock of continuity, to our soldiers who stand ready to deploy at a moment's notice, you are the twin pillars of this command. When I look back on these 2 years, what I remember, or what I will remember the most, is the raw human experiences we shared, the nitty-gritty conversations we've had, and it didn't matter where we had them. They could be in the town halls, it could be anywhere. We had them. One-on-ones, in groups, phone calls. I'll track you down, won't I? I will. I'll tell you this. We lived through a full spectrum of life together. We celebrated births. If you guys didn't know, Ollie's in the building. We carried the heavy grief of unexpected loss. Today, it's not lost on me that we don't have one of our beloved team members, Master Sergeant Kuros, who we lost a month ago. We faced the anxiety of government shutdowns, furloughs, General McQueen, I think we need to have Public Health Command come on in. The furloughs. And young soldiers and civilians wondering how they're going to cover the rent or even get groceries. The stress was real. But so was your response. You pulled together. When things got hard, people who didn't have much to spare brought bags of food into our headquarters, into our hospitals, to make sure that their teammates didn't go hungry. That wasn't staff management crisis. That was a family taking care of its own. That was a family taking care of its own. Now, we also knew how to celebrate. We laugh at each other, we point at each other, and we do it often. We knew how to enjoy potlucks, hallway laughter, holiday parties, compete during organizational day. Somebody got a mean hula hoop record. Anybody want to guess who that is? I tell you what, we celebrated each other at our awards, where we call them award people while their boots are dirty, award ceremonies. And yes, I see the smiles scattered through the audience. You also had the opportunity to endure my legendary, borderline, unreasonable devotion to MDMP. I know, you love it. I know where we stayed late sometimes, even through complex problems. You probably wanted to throw the manual at me, but you rolled up your sleeves, and General Izagiri, Command Sergeant Major Dobbins, the team, when I tell you they never settled for good enough, they never settled for good enough. To our MT, or my MTF commander, soon to be someone else's, they're always going to be mine because of the relationships we built, not because of what's standing here. And I'll share more with you why I say what I say when I say that. To the Command Sergeants Majors, Command Sergeant Major Francis, Command Sergeant Major Blash, my Chiefs of Staff, Colonel Gray, Mr. Craig, Eric, Colonel Sines, the front office, Ms. Denise, Ms. Renee, Mr. Johnson, my aides, Michaela, Andy, Marin, to my exos, Preston, Amy, and Anton. He got some W in too. W means work. You managed the chaos, protected my time, and kept the engine running with absolute grace. Sergeant Major Blash, wow. Sergeant Major Blash and I, we didn't always finish each other's sentences, but we always finished each other's thoughts. Thank you for your honesty, your humor, and your unwavering loyalty. We get in those rooms sometimes and we just look at each other and we have a whole conversation. And then sometimes we're laughing and no one knows what we're laughing about. But it's just good. It is really good. To my mom, thank you for teaching me service, humility, and integrity. This past May, I suffered the loss, a devastating loss, of my mother. She was my rock, my foundation, my center. Navigating this command. Whew. You guys are quiet. Navigating this command, this life without her voice has been one of the hardest things I've ever done. But in my moment of deepest brokenness, it was this formation that helped carry me through. Your love, your cards, your quiet acts of kindness didn't just support a commanding general. You helped. You helped a grieving daughter. I will carry that gratitude for the rest of my days. I will carry that gratitude for the rest of my days. And to my spouse, Renee, you are my anchor. The Army asks so much of our families. They really do. And you bear the weight with extraordinary grace and strength, much like General Ezekiel said. I'm standing strong here today because of you. Thank you for being my strength, my confidant, and my best friend, even though I know that I may not be your best friend. I had to do that because it's an inside joke. It is my time, or I'll just say this. If my time in command has taught me anything, it has taught me this. Leadership is not about a title. The stars of a general's shoulders don't move mountains. They don't. The trust of the people does. The trust of the people does. Protect the culture you build here. Take care of each other. The mission will take care of itself. The mission will take care of itself. My mother always taught me to leave things better than I found them. And looking across this room today, I know together we did. I know together we did. Compassion, care, and commitment. If you want excellence, look to the western skies. Combat-ready care. This will defend. Whiskey 6, signing off the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join us for the singing of the Army song. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for joining us and taking part in this time-honored tradition. You are all invited to bid farewell to Brigadier General Summons and Dr. Harrison at the front of the stage with the line forming from your left to right. Combat ready care, this will defend.